Well, hey, Facebook and beyond. This is Tiiu Napp.
And I'm Dr. Michael Gross. Hello, everybody. How are you?
I am thrilled to pieces to be here with Michael today to share our goodness sake, our Sunday message.
What year is this?
I don't know.
know.
I honestly don't know, but it's our Sunday night regular 7 o'clock Pacific Daylight Time. And Michael and I are going to be talking to you about
Your direction in life.
But first, I wanted to let you know that Dr. Michael Gross is the author of this phenomenal book. There you go. The Spiritual Primer, best doggone book I've ever read. And it's life-changing. So if you're kind of stuck in a mucky place or you just want to get something fresh in your life, start here. Chapter 3 is excellent, but I highly recommend you start at the very beginning.
And I want to share this book called Healing the Holes in Your Soul by Tiiu Napp. Beautiful book about surviving, book about finding your self-worth, self-love, and self-esteem.
He's hiding.
And
Sorry
a
for
book,
interrupting.
and a book about empowering yourself. It's a wonderful, beautiful story. It's inspiring. It is and will change your life. So everyone, I recommend this book as well to you. Besides, I know the guy that wrote the foreword. Pretty cool.
It's the same guy that wrote this book, and
Oh,
he's
really?
hiding behind my book.
Oh, really?
Stick your face up, Michael. Come on. Not that way.
We're having fun, everyone.
We
So
love
thank you
coming
very
to
much.
you. We love coming to you and being a little bit, we're not scripted.
No, we're not.
We try to keep a topic, and sometimes we even, I think, wander off it a little bit.
And we wanted to have a little levity, a lot of fun. And we hope you have fun with us and laugh with us, but not laugh at us, because we enjoy what we're doing.
So on that note, okay, Michael?
All right.
I'm going to go ahead and Michael, I want to let everybody know before I get into the formal the only scripted piece of what we do. Michael does a Tuesday night call-in, and all the numbers and stuff for the call-in and the thing that's coming up the second Saturday of every month, I'm going to make sure that all those are also in the comments. So, but I'd like Michael to go ahead and talk just really quick about some of the things that are coming up. And Tuesday night is huge. So mark it on your calendar, Tuesday night and Sunday night. And I'm going to let Michael do the details.
So we'll start the first thing Sunday night, of course. This is our podcast, so to speak. And we hope that we'll deliver a message for you that will help you and understand more about life and your path in life and your direction in life. And then the second Saturday of every month, we do a mass consciousness healing, and I take that very, very serious. If we look at the earth and what's going on with their inhabitants, it's crazy. It's just out of whack. So what we need to do is send unconditional love to all the inhabitants and everything that exists on this planet. And to fill you in, it's the second Saturday of every month. It goes from 9:55 a.m. Pacific Daylight Savings Time to 11:01 Pacific Daylight Savings Time. And so first couple of minutes, we'll have a little introduction, just say hello, lay a little background, welcome everybody. And then after that, it goes into silence. And about a couple of minutes beforehand, bring you back in out of silence, a little message, maybe a little music, and then we're done for the day. But I will tell you, it will touch your heart. And it's so, so, so important. And then we have to find our way back to reconnection to the God, the true source, because a lot of us have lost it. So that's one thing that we do. And then every Tuesday, which is from 6:30 p.m. Daylight Savings Time to 7:30, 7:40 Pacific Daylight Savings Time, we have what I call the call-in, and you ask questions. And then I deliver a 10-minute message, and I've got over 253 or 4 10-minute messages, which will soon be on YouTube. And then, of course, we have what I call the playback, where you can listen to all those messages and motivational thoughts to help your life, which you can listen while you're driving because they're audio, and you can drive when you're feeling down or depressed. Those are the things we're working on, and we got lots more things. And the last thing is the International Institute of Self-Empowerment, TIISE, the International Institute of Self-Empowerment, as we call it, TISE. And that's all about helping everyone. It's a 501c3, which means we're a nonprofit. And when True Source said, Michael, you are to start this, I said, okay, what am I going to do with it? I don't know. That's with myself. I said, I don't know. But I learned to, when you receive True Inner Source guidance, you don't argue, you just do it. And then after I had it all set up and overcame all the hurdles, which is another story I can tell another time, I was working with this beautiful lady alongside of me and realizing all the abuse she went through and harassment and so on and so forth. It came to me clear that there's going to be 12 different messages or protocols to the International Institute of Self-Empowerment. The first one we're going to be working on is abuse women, children, and men, something very dear to my heart. And I've learned so much from Tiiu, and she's such a role model that I decided that I invited her to be the director in helping abused women, children, and men. And we're putting everything together. We're doing fundraising. We're getting grants. We're working on all kinds of things. Now, I know you've heard this before, but sometimes the wheel of progress goes slow, but it always moves forward. So thank you all.
You're welcome. Okay.
All right, your turn.
It's my turn. Okay. On that note, you've pretty much got the quick summary on what we do. And we are revamping our YouTube pages. Please don't shake my computer. We're revamping our YouTube pages, so you're going to be able to go in there and see all of these podcasts, like Michael calls them, and so much more coming very, very soon. So on that note, I'm going to go ahead and do the formal introduction for Dr. Michael Gross, and then we'll let him carry on with his message. Okay?
Excuse me, before you do that, I have a new website, and I want to invite all of you to take a look. It's still in progress. There's going to be a lot more added to it, but if you want to look at it, please feel free. And it's drmichaelgross.net. It's drmichaelgross.net. And it's about 85-90% done, but we're going to be adding some more exciting things. So I invite all of you to check it out if you wish. Thank you. Now it's your turn.
Are you done?
Not yet, but I am.
Okay. Well, you want to tell them that we're twins?
You can tell them.
No, I think you should. You're the older one.
Well, yes. I am Tiiu and I discovered we were fraternal twins. Don't we look like each other? Different plumbing, but we look like each other. And this was eons ago. And so she bragged, she kicked me out of the womb first. So I'm the older brother by, who knows, 32nd or a minute or two or a couple of minutes. She wanted me to test the water, and if I didn't like it, she figured I stuck there because I couldn't get back in, which she's right. Anyway, we are, and our story is that I had to get even with her. So I'll remind all of you, and in getting even, she said that she saw a vision of her mother in that past life, and she was gorgeous. And I said, you're absolutely right, and I just look like her. So that's my way of getting even.
He does that all the time.
Yes.
But if you see us acting a little bit silly, that's because we're kind of, we're siblings.
Yeah.
And that's what we do. So on that note, I am going to formally introduce you now.
All right.
Okay. Enough of this frivolity. Dr. Michael Gross is an author, professional keynote speaker, transformational coach, and an entrepreneur. Shaking a computer again. Oh my golly. Okay. For more than 3 decades, he's been on a special. Mercury's in retrograde, you guys. And it affects communication. So if you're having technical issues or speaking issues, blame it on Mercury, right? Okay, we'll try this again. For more than 3 decades, he's been on a spiritual path as an intuitive, a healer, a spiritual counselor, and an incredible teacher. Through the guidance of spirit, Michael has assisted others in their personal quest for self-empowerment, helping them to create the lives that they have long sought and to bring forth their intuitive abilities. Michael currently lives
in Lakewood,
Washington. Wait a minute. I skipped the line.
Excuse me.
Go back. Michael currently teaches classes in spirituality, self-empowerment, Reiki, and other modalities. In concert with God, the True Source, he has also achieved great success and miraculous healings. He remains humble knowing that the work that he does all comes from God, the true source. Now, Michael lives in Lakewood, Washington, and has just launched his nonprofit, the International Institute of Self-Empowerment, which he's already told you about.
Yes.
So I'm going to go ahead and turn the floor over to you, and you can talk about our topic for the day.
All right. Before I'm having a double water neat. So
Well, cheers.
Cheers. Take a little swig and we'll get going. Thank you, everyone. So what I wanted to discuss with all of you is your direction in life. And everyone, by the way, in the direction of life, let me lay a little bit of background. This will be a multi-part series. I don't know if it'll be 2, 3, or 4 or whatever it's going to be, but it's one of those. And what's really important for us to understand is that before you incarnate, and I've said this before, but I want to lay out the background. You choose your family, friends, relatives, and you also choose your karmic lessons, whatever they may be, your life path, and whom you're going to have relationships with, boyfriends, girlfriends, getting married, also children, how many children you're going to have, if you're going to have some children, and your career, and so on and so forth. And then what you're going to do is complete your karma. Karma is nothing but an experience, and also your spiritual path. And many people have been given doors, so to speak, to walk through the spiritual path, and many souls have not, out of fear or insecurities or doubt or whatever it may be. And that's a real shame that it's that way, in my opinion. Whatever it is, I want to address certain things that are important. And one of those things that are important is your direction of life. So whether you realize it or not, all of us are in time cycles or life cycles or yearly cycles and monthly cycles and daily cycles. But really, I look at the most important thing to me, and that is the cycles of our life. And people or souls are on 5-year, 6-year, 7-year, 8-year, 9-year, 10, 11, 12-year cycles. So what does that really mean? What it means is that every X amount, and we'll put, a lot of people are in 8-year cycles. So every 8-year cycles, something changes in your life and you change direction in your life. Now that doesn't mean you're going to get divorced, or doesn't mean you're going to change jobs or move or whatever. But it's how you embrace your life, how you feel about your life, and the direction in life. And my directions in life have been incredible. Okay? And I tell everybody to, just be in the flow, or that old cliche, let go and let God, and really let your soul and true God, the true source, direct you. So my directions in life, I've done so many things. You have no idea what I've done. In fact, I don't even remember it all, but I've done so many things. And the most important thing is with each and one of my cycles, whatever that cycle is I make changes, minor and major changes. And I want to say this to each one of you, because some of you in the next 18 months or less, beginning now, unless you're going to go through a cycle in life that is changing. Usually towards the end of that cycle, there's a lot of chaos in your life. And you're probably wondering, why does that have to be? Well, as the change comes up in your life, it gets chaotic because 1, you are to face some issues you haven't released. 2, we don't like changes as human beings. We get really upset, fearful, and doubtful. So remember the quote from the true source: whatever you fear the most, you attract in your life. I like my cliche, and that if you don't know where you're going, you can't get lost.
I love that one.
So you can
I
just
love that one. You
just
just get in
let
the
it
car and go.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. And then the best part is that when you don't know where you're going, you end up in some really incredible places.
You do.
Yeah.
And that's so important. And, sometimes some of my friends, it drives me nuts. Where are we going? How long is it going to be? What are we going to go? And I go, I don't know. It makes them really frustrated because I really don't know. But I just let what I call true inner source guidance just steer me or tell me where to go. And that's the way I like it. And that's so important for us. So my message is, let's talk about our younger life. So in the younger life, you go through the birth canal, and you've chosen your family. And the veil of forgetfulness, as I've discussed before, descends upon you around the age of 3, and everything looks like it's brand new. It's like springtime. Everything's coming up. It's renewed. It's invigorated. It's joyous and happy. And every experience is new. But if you're an old soul, you went through these experiences thousands of times or multiple times, but it's new. And that's the exciting part. And I want you all to take a few moments to look at your life or think about your life between when you were born, if you can remember, and very few people can remember, all the way up to the age of 8. And so, for the sake of this, I'm going to say you're on 8-year cycles, but it could be 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 20.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
How do you know how many year cycles are you on?
Well, you can meditate and ask, or you ask me.
Okay, I'll ask you later.
Yes. And so what happens is you go through a learning curve, right, during that 8-year cycle, the average bear, and then something changes in your life. And let's say you're on an 8-year cycle, just for the sake of argument. And by that time, you're 8 years old. Your belief systems have changed. What you believed about what your parents told you, you've begun to question a little bit. And you're beginning to meet other people, listen to what they say. And of course, when you're doing that, there's always a bully in class. There's always somebody judging you. And if you're really sensitive, you're finding yourself wanting to hide and run or whatever. But, the most important thing for us to realize we're in cycles. Well, I wanted to dispel the myth, well, this cycle is really great, Michael. I'm making $1 million a year. What will the next one do? I'll lose all my money? My answer is no, unless you want to lose it. Of course not. It will be enhanced in different directions, much, much more enhanced. Now, the reason I'm bringing this out is that not only are we on life cycles, number of years, guess what? This planet is. The planet's on a life cycle. Now, the animal, mineral, and vegetable kingdom is also on life cycles. So we're finding new types of plants all the time, new types of animals and fish and so on and so forth we're discovering, even insects, bugs. See, everything is transmuting, everything is changing. Even we're finding new things about rocks, new things about sand, silicon, new uses for things. So this cycle repeats in our lives, not only physically, but mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And it's kind of like a wake-up call to look at everything in our life. But Mother Earth is on that cycle, and she's healing, and she's changing. Now, I will admit that we are depleting some of Mother Earth's minerals, and we are. And other times we're giving back to some Mother Earth. So it's anything that we unfortunately use, and we turn it into landfill. Eventually it begins to disintegrate, because that's what happens. It goes disintegrates, and as it disintegrates, it goes back to its original form eventually, whatever that time frame is. But I want to readdress all of you. So we look at our weather, and our weather on the planet. We've had storms, we've had hurricanes, tornadoes, we've had parts when this planet was totally frozen. We've gone through so much of that. So that's the reason I'm bringing out all these things. And we talk about climate change and all those things that are going on. Climate is changing, and it truly is. How much effect we're having on it, we're learning more and more. We do have some effect on it. But I don't want to address and get into climate change and everybody's passions and feelings, except that we do affect the Earth in 2 ways. One is when we talk about the climate and Mother Earth. So let's look at the climate. So indeed, there are times that we affect the climate, and we also affect Mother Earth. We're depleting her some minerals. We are also working with the climate, and there's what I call a diva, or a nature spirit of everything. And we understand there is a nature spirit or diva, rocks, grass, all the vegetables, minerals, all that is one of all the weather, is one of our vibrations and frequencies of energies. So is the animal, mineral, and vegetable and plant life. And then we are in charge of our own lives. So if we look at this is a very complex planet. Universe is very complex. It is busier than any major highway during rush hour, much busier.
LA freeway?
Yes, on the LA freeway. However, go ahead.
I was just going to say, when you're talking life cycles, is that what happened to the dinosaurs?
Yes. So as we turn around and we look at everything in life, that everything is in a cyclical sort of life, and everything is really in control. I want you to understand how we affect these cycles. So aside from ourselves, our consciousness, our emotions, and our feelings affect everything on this planet. Everything is symbiotic. And if we look about how we feel about each other, we can make each one of us angry, upset, joyous, happy, or whatever it may be by our emotions and feelings. Therefore, we are partially responsible for our weather, the climate changes. And I remember when I came out here in 2008 in Boston, from Boston, I was driving out here. I'm going to retract that. Back in 1990, let me see, back in 1988, I had to think a little while, everybody. I came out here. So back in Boston, there was a lot of foreclosures on homes. It was called the Whitewater Savings and Loan Debacle. People were just handing the keys over. They couldn't afford the homes. And the hope is, the whole East Coast, and I'm sure other areas, but I'm not familiar with it, had horrible blizzards, just terrible weather. And in the southern states, they had tornadoes and they had hurricanes and so on and so forth. And we just chalk that up to, well, we're polluting the earth or, whatever. But it's our emotions that affect everything. So if you don't think your emotions affect anything, guess again. Go to a party and being tired and not wanting to be there and everybody's up, you feel that way. Or go to the party and you're up and everybody's down, you're down. Or you meet your husband, wife, children, whatever, and they're depressed, you get depressed. Or you become very sensitive. So our energy affects the climate, affects Mother Earth, the animal, mineral, and vegetable kingdom, even our animals around us. It affects everything that we do. However, science does not want to address that. Because you see, if they don't address it, then we are all victims. And because we're not behaving properly, or because of some other reason, when I say behaving properly, we're polluting Mother Earth, and so on and so forth. One of the things we have to realize is they talk about fossil fuels. And fossil fuels, and I was sitting there one day going, wow, boy, there's been a lot of dinosaurs to produce oil and gas. Must have been a lot of, ferns and other things. I mean, we've taken trillions of gallons out of fuel out of the planet. Like, whoa, there's something else going on because it couldn't be that many fossils. And then I began to realize that we are a carbon-based planet. And that means coal and some things like that. Well, during World War II, the Germans took coal, processed it, and made diesel and gas out of it. Took coal. Now, was it as efficient as the gas and diesel we took out of the earth that wasn't under the, coal under heat and pressure? No, it wasn't, but it sufficed. Understanding that because we are a carbon-based planet, and we all know there's heat within Mother Earth, she is constantly reproducing coal and oil and gas. So is it a never-ending basis? Nah, probably not. How much carbon we have, I don't know, but we're looking a long time, hundreds of, or not 1,000 centuries. So it's not really anything to worry about. But on the other hand, if we look at the life paths of Mother Earth, we need to address respecting her and thank her for what she gives us. She sustains our life. And on the other hand, your relationships with others, the animal, mineral, vegetable kingdom, nature spirits, your guides and angels, your friends and family, your husbands, wives, all of you work in concert to sustain life. Therefore, when you have these life cycles, it's for you to shift your life, to take a look at your life, to see what am I creating, what am I doing, what is my belief system, what is my direction. Therefore, I want to go back to years from birth to age 8. And understanding from birth to age 8, we need to address one important thing. And that is a cycle of life where we're learning how we create, how we feel about ourselves, and the direction we're going into. Tiiu, how much time do I have left?
You got a good 5 minutes.
Okay. Therefore, I want everyone to understand that in this first cycle, we're picking number 8, but it could be any different. This is the time when I want all of you to reflect upon your life. Reflect on what you learned, and you didn't make any mistakes. So understand that. Yes, we can use the term mistakes, but really, you learn what worked and didn't work. That's why I say there's no such thing as failure, because you learn what worked and didn't work. You didn't fail. It was a learning curve. Your life, up from 0 to 8, is a learning curve. And somehow, as young children, we learn to try to appease others, or we become cantankerous, or whatever it is. But it's all about finding harmony and balance in our life. And as we think about harmony and balance, most of you, not all of you, are above the age of 8, unless there's some young people watching that, and I hope there are. Where are you finding harmony and balance in your life? Good question. I know people that are so busy buying this, buying that, and they feel great. Michael, look what I got. Michael, look what I got. Boy, that's great. That's great. And it's just 4 months later. Look what else I got. Look what else I got. And they collect a lot of stuff. And it's all why? It's all to make yourself feel good. But it's a Band-Aid. That's all. It's just a Band-Aid. It's like an addiction. You have to keep finding something else to make you feel good. And I addressed the point that you were made out of love, created out of love, by love, from love, with love, and of love. And that's the one thing in our life that we don't address. That is unconditional love of ourselves.
Why is that? I hate to interrupt, but why in the world is that? I mean, when you think about it.
Speak louder.
Speak loud.
Speak louder.
Speak loud. I'm like, why in the world is it that we don't address the one thing that drives everybody forward, which is love? You know, I mean, I'm sorry for jumping in, but come on, you know, we have children, we have parents. You know, if we're blessed to still have our parents here,
Mm-hmm.
you know, we're here because of love.
Right.
Right? And we're still here learning and growing and sharing that love. So why is it that people are so afraid to speak about it?
And that is so important. So I'd like to answer that. The learning curve. We don't teach our children about unconditional love. We don't teach our children critical thinking and to take responsibility. Because you see, those formidable years, 0 through 8, that is your foundation on which you grow upon. You know, you don't build a house from the second story or third story or a skyscraper. You got to have a good, firm foundation. And that's what we do not teach. Critical thinking and what is true love. So if we are taught that the true source, God, the true source, is unconditional, loving, allowing, non-judgmental, and that's the way we're supposed to be. What if you taught that you are created out of love, by love, from love, and with love, and that everything you learn is an experience, that you should learn to love these new experiences, even if you end up stumbling and falling temporarily. And that everyone is their own life path, whether it's joyous or happy or otherwise, but honor them and love them for choosing that, because that's the way they're choosing to learn. So we can learn several ways, right? We can learn somebody talking to us and we understand what they're teaching us, or we can learn by injuring ourselves or going out there, or we can learn by observing others, or we can learn observing ourselves. And what is going on today right now with the younger people, they've got their missions and goals, but I watch the mothers. How dare that teacher say that? How dare they say that? My child, blah, 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 blah. Well, let's face it. Your children, they're beautiful souls. How are they learning? Trial and error, falling on their face. But they also have to be taught to take responsibility. And unfortunately, very few parents are doing that. So they grow up feeling like a victim and they can get away with anything because they're just a victim. But if you truly realize you chose to live up in an environment which you may have to work hard on or to enjoy, you chose it. So next week, we're going to do part 2. And there'll probably be about part 3. Most important thing, everyone, is to realize you are here to experience life and go along with the shifts and changes of life. So with that in mind, I see Tiiu's got her paper, and that's a subtle hint. Zip up, Michael. I've got more things to share.
Well, we appreciate everybody coming to watch this message. And, it is Sunday. We want to make sure that we are mindful of your time because it is family time. And, everybody's getting ready for the next work day.
Yes.
So here we go. Okay. For the thank you so much for popping in. And I can't wait to hear part 2.
Me neither.
We never really know what's coming out of Michael's mouth until we hit the record button, right, Michael?
Exactly. It's all channeled, everyone.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect. So on the oh my gosh.
And the Michael and Tiiu program.
Well, we're always here at Facebook Lives, okay? At 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Pacific Daylight Time, whatever time. Okay, on Tuesday night, Michael's call-in is at 6:30 Pacific Daylight Time. And that number, I said 6:30, right? Okay. That number is 202-926-1059. And the access code?
125-446 pound.
Okay, I'll give that number again and it will be in the comments. So Tuesday night call in is 202-926-1059. Access
And the
code.
access code is 125-446 pound.
All right. You goof.
Thank you very much.
Okay. At the end of those call-ins, he does a 10 or maybe 12-minute recording. So stick around because when he hits the record button, you get an extra golden nugget. Michael's words of wisdom. And that number for the recordings, you can dial anytime you want to. And the recording number is 434-300-4170 with an access code.
125-446 pound.
He's so good at this. Okay, one more time. The recordings are available at 343-300-4170. Go ahead, Michael.
The access code is 125-446 pound.
I'm waiting for him to shake my computer. I know I am. Okay, and every second Saturday of the month, the Mass Consciousness Healing starts at 9:55, right? Mm-hmm. Again, a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, and that number is 202-926-1059.
And the access code is 125-446 pound.
I knew he couldn't stop it. He had to do that.
Absolutely.
Okay, do you need that number again? It's the same as the Tuesday night call-in.
Yes.
Okay. And I wanted to say too that when you go to listen to the recordings, you get to choose whatever number you want, starting from 3 up.
To 200, 156 or 7?
No. It keeps changing because he adds a new one every week.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's up there. So, I mean, he's been doing these for a while. And they're very, very good. And I highly recommend starting with number 92. It's a little bit up there, from number 3, but number 92 and number 19 are two of my very most favorites. So on that note, Michael, do you have anything else to share?
Not at all, but I want to thank all of you for joining us. And I want you to know how much we really appreciate you, because you're taking the time to interrupt your daily life to hear our words of wisdom. But also, when you do that, you're making a difference in your life and anyone that joins you. With that in mind, I'll remind all of us that we have these beautiful books, Healing the Holes in Your Soul by Tiiu Napp.
Peak, Michael. This is Michael's book, The Spiritual Primer. I highly, highly, highly recommend this one. Michael, do you want to let them know about something else that's coming regarding this book?
Yes, in about a month, a little less or more, there's going to be a second edition with some more information in there. So stay tuned. And I say a month or more because all the editing and everything will be completed by Monday or Tuesday, and then it's going to go to the printers and who knows how long. But as soon as they become available, I will let you know. Because truly, my mission and goal is help you to reconnect with the true source and to make a difference on this planet. So thank you everyone for joining us.
Thank you.
Please tell more to join us, because the more we do, the more changes we're going to make. Because you are unlimited. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you everyone. Take care. Lots of joy and love.
Ciao. Can't find my cursor. Here we go.